All right, so you've done all of the objection handling training and you know exactly what you are supposed to say when someone says something like, I just need to think about it. So why is there so much resistance when that happens? And why aren't you able to actually follow the training in the moment on the call and you end up doing something different? I'm going to cover why that is today and also what needs to shift underneath the surface in order for this resistance not to show up like it is. This was something that early on in my career I struggled with quite a bit, where I'd done all the training and I had studied the scripts, the frameworks, and I could build really good connection with people on the call. But whenever I was hit with, oh, I just need to think about it or I need some time, my system, instead of handling it how I was trained, I would immediately move to, oh, you're right, that's a good idea. Just take some time, get back to me, let me know. I didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to risk losing the connection that I had built with this person over the course of the call. At the time, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was being a good sales rep and not being manipulative or sleazy or any of the other limiting beliefs about sales that I had. What was really happening was that I wasn't serving the customer and I wasn't serving myself. That resistance that I would feel when I would get that objection, that was a program being triggered that said that this person is leaving. And that signaled threat or danger to my system. Back when we were kids, we have these programs that were installed, built to keep us safe in certain situations. That operating system hasn't been updated since. And so now these days when we're on a sales call and someone says that they need to think about it and they're not really telling you what's underneath that, we immediately go into threat detection mode and shut down our own inner authority and lose all frame of the call. When in reality, what the customer needs in that moment is someone to help them see what's actually going on underneath the surface. We all know that the objection of I just need to think about it is not really the true objection. There's always something underneath there, something that hasn't been addressed. And so digging a little bit deeper in those situations can actually be really, really helpful for not only yourself, but for the customer. Now, they're not always going to sign up every time. You're not always going to get these one-call closes. But to immediately fold right when they say they need to think about it is not a good solution for anybody. The shadow rep loves running this connection program. This is one of the 3 main programs that ends up popping up in sales calls today that were installed when we were kids. And every time it gets triggered, if you haven't done the work to actively not only become aware of these, but to rewire them, then they're going, no matter what training you have, no matter how well you know the material, they're always going to derail things for you. I work with sales reps all the time where this is the exact pattern that's showing up, where they don't want to come across as the bad person or they don't want to be too pushy. They think they're doing a service to the customer, but in reality, nobody wins in these situations. When someone leaves a call because they need to think about it and you haven't uncovered the true objection underneath, then they don't have enough information to actually think about it and make a decision. And we've all been in these situations where most of the time when this happens, you either never hear from the person ever again, or you end up in chase mode where you're constantly chasing them, trying to track them down, calls, emails, et cetera, and that's not a great energy to sell from or just to operate from in general. So I just want to kind of bring awareness to this specific pattern, and not everybody struggles with it, but if you do, start looking at the underlying reasons for why this resistance is bubbling up around this question specifically. See if you can track it back to a time in your childhood where you were scared of losing connection or a fear of rejection, et cetera. The first step with working with any of this is the awareness step. And so if you're curious what your patterns look like underneath, if you're not really sure what's popping up for you in the moment and you're having a hard time connecting the dots, I built a free tool that helps you expose this. I'll link it below in the comments. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Peace.